y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Joelle with I Am Decor by Joelle Russ. Today we're going to be getting into 3 new projects. All items are sourced from the Dollar Tree, so they are inexpensive, but these items are not going to look cheap. I'm going to be making 2 vases today and also a lampshade to go on a lamp that I have. So I hope you guys sit back and relax, enjoy, make it if you want to. That's the point. I want to inspire you guys. So at the end, don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. All right, guys. Peace. Okay, so for my first project, I'm going to be making a vase, and I'm going to be making it out of one of these foam rings that I got from the dollar store, and I'm going to sand it down with a sand block that I also got from the dollar store. And I really had to sand it because, crazy story, as my son broke it in half, and I had to put it back together with glue. So it was a little messy, but I did go ahead and sand that down first. Next, I'm going to go ahead and cut right along the bottom so that I can get a straight edge so that it's able to sit up. At first, when I did this, I wasn't sure if I was going to use something to sit it on once I cut it. But once I cut it, it's not really that stable. So I did decide to use a couple wood blocks. I glued those together to sit it on top of, just so that it's sturdy. So I did sand it down a little bit, and you see it stands, but I wanted to use those blocks so that it would be more sturdy. So just to glue that together, I used the E6000 along with the Gorilla Glue sticks. Been a long time. Now for the top of the vase, what I used was a toilet paper roll, and I have plenty of these because my family never changes them. So I always have to go back and change them myself. So I'll sometimes save them because I'm a crafter. Okay, so you see how I cut that there? I'll just go ahead and try to make it round again. I did have to flatten it out just so I could cut it and measure it. So what I'm gonna do is just use my glue stick to glue it back on to secure it. But you're gonna see I'm gonna use some spackle, so it's gonna hold it in place. The glue is okay, but the spackling is really what's gonna hold it in place. So it was a little harder than I thought to get this piece of cardboard to stay at the top. But again, like I said, I'm going to also be using the spackling, so it's going to make it stay in place a lot better than just the glue. As time goes by. Okay, so now it's time to spackle it. I got the spackle from the Dollar Tree, and I would recommend adding just a little bit of water to it. It doesn't say that, but it is a little dry. I added a little bit of water, stirred it around, and it smoothed out really well. I like the texture that it came out to. Okay, I used this Krylon spray paint. It was beige chiffon, something like that. I'll put it in the notes. But basically, I went ahead and did about 2 to 3 coats, and it came out great. It really looked like stone. It really had to do a lot with the spackling that I used, and then the color of the spray paint really made it look like it was stone. So you want to do like 2 to 3 coats when you're using styrofoam, just because the styrofoam really seems to absorb the spray paint. And here it is. So for the flowers, the yellow flowers are real flowers, the other ones are fake, but you can interchange them out. But I love it. All right, so I'm making another vase, guys. This time I'm using these pool floats from the Dollar Tree, and I started off with one, but the flower that I got, I really wanted to have a tall vase because the flower is really tall, and I didn't think it would do it justice if I cut it. So I went ahead and got 2 more, and I knew with the styrofoam that just using like E6000 and glue is not going to work just because how porous the foam is. So I did end up having to put some wood dowels in there just to kind of secure it, and I also got a glass vase that fit perfectly at the bottom. So I slipped 2 little vases at the bottom to kind of weight it down so that it doesn't tip over, because you know I have kids and I don't want any accidents to happen. So that really worked out great.
It's been a long time. Some of the old songs. For old time's sake. As time goes by. Been a long time.
So here it is all put together. I did spackle it, and I also used my favorite terracotta spray paint. And I know right now it looks like it's a little uneven, but just trust the process. I spray painted it all over. I probably did about 2 coats on this. The terracotta has really great coverage, so you don't really have to go over it too much. And it does, again, look a little uneven, but just stick with me, guys.
As time goes by.
And here's the final product, guys. I told you didn't have to worry so much about it leaning or not being even on one side. You just put the side that looks best in front of the camera. Alrighty, and for my final project, I'm going to be making a lampshade for this lamp that I got from the Dollar Tree. I do have these lamps already in my kids' rooms as night lights, and I've never really saw anybody do a DIY on this, so I thought I would be the first. So I went ahead and I cut the lampshade apart, and just for you all that haven't seen it before, it does come with an LED light, which is worth $1, more than $1 in itself. And the only really thing I don't like is the way the cord is, but that's here nor there. So I went ahead and I tore the lampshade off just so that I could get those 2 pieces separated.
Time goes by. It's been a long time. Some of the old songs. For old time's sake. As time goes by.
Once I got those separated, I started working with my bamboo strips that I also got from the dollar store. They're very long ones, you can see at the top, and I only needed 1 pack, and really I used probably all of them except for about 3, but I did want to use a ruler because I did want to get them kind of exact, and I didn't want to measure off of like a stick already cut. So I went ahead and I measured those out, cut those so that we could get those onto the lampshade. I did go ahead and sand the tips of them just so they would look a little more uniformed. They're pretty much all the same size, but this again is my sanding block from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so here I started the process. It took me a little while to get my groove, but once I got the groove, it was so easy. So basically what I did is I would take a stick, put it down, and then I would put another stick there as like a spacer, and then put some glue down just so I could keep the spacing right. I'm typically a person that likes to just eyeball it. I'm really good with just like winging it and getting the measurements right, but if I got it off this time, it would look really tacky, so I decided to take that extra step. But it was really easy to do, guys, so we're almost done and I'll show you the final product.
It's been a long time.
One of the last things I did was I took some jute rope and intertwined it through the bamboo sticks so that you couldn't see the wiring of the frame. The frame looked a little bit tacky by itself, so I wanted to put something there to give it a more finished look, and I just did it at the top and the bottom.
For time's sake.
All right, once I got it all weaved through, I went through and just cut off the straggly pieces of the jute rope. It can be really straggly, so I just got that all out the way. And here is the finished product, guys. I love the way it came out. Super simple. If you want to see how I made those balls, let me know. I'll share that as well. Thank you all for visiting my channel, watching my video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.